Okay.
Right after my maintenance.
We'll call it July 1st, 2024 Management Services meeting order. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
For a second.
It's 15, she can't do
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, do we have an update on the Grant Street Drainage Project?
Yeah, it's happening this morning.
I saw.
There's flatbed trailers full of tile sitting out there and everything.
Truck full of tile.
And there's a pickup truck sitting over under one of the trees. I couldn't tell if that was Johnny Martin or not. Somebody was walking, unless it's part of Henrik's crew, but it's right over here by the jail.
Yeah, I can't say that, but it's underway as we speak.
Awesome.
Julie's been called, and so anyway, it's moving forward.
Very good.
Will request me to come over and speak with him after the meeting. So,
Tell them no. Maintenance Supervisor report.
Commissioner John, after this, my report, if you don't mind, I need to duck out quickly and daughter is waiting to be picked up out at Prairie State's Christian Camp.
We mind.
So if you don't mind.
Just a question then, since you're gonna run right away.
Yes.
What are the Tidy Cat jugs doing out front?
I have no clue. And I don't know who, if there's something with the health department or I don't know what that is.
I know they were there last Thursday, and they're still there. So.
You know, sometimes the soil and water have some strange jugs of different things back in that corner there, but I have no idea what's going on up here. I'm kind of afraid to go look. It's like some, I don't know. I can try to find out.
Okay.
Okay, there's a couple things possibly in the works over here at the administrative center. I think I made mention last meeting. I'm waiting for an email from a gentleman who came and looked at, well, like the area where the Tidy Cat is, all along this side and on the south side of the building to do something with just those weed infested areas and possibly put some river stone in there. He's gonna salvage most of the daylilies and plant them properly with some weed barrier and mulch and stuff. I'm waiting on a price for that. I'm not just gonna try to say, yeah, do it. I'll present that to you guys first once I get, but look, I was hoping to have that before this meeting, but not the case. And also, I've been in contact with Bob Marquis from Marquis Tree Service, who it seems about once a year will do something for me around here. I want to talk to him about sort of giving a haircut to all of these low hanging branches on all of the trees where they're reaching into the ground and whatnot. Have them spend a day and use their equipment and take care of all of it. And there's some large stuff out here. I told him in the pines that has fallen that's a bit too much for me to handle. And I have yet to meet with him too. I talked to him a couple weeks ago and we haven't got our schedules together yet, so I'll keep posted on that one as well. Over at Animal Control, there was no cooling issues or anything, just swapped out some filters. There was a small electric issue. There was a room the lights quit working and it was just ballast I had to swap out that operated like a few lights. Been mowing over there once a week. Some point this month, I'm gonna get over and the bushes and everything over there have gotten to look horrible. They're all grown up and I need to.
I drove by it yesterday, it looks really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
Okay, thanks. I do try to keep it mowed, but I need to get onto those bushes. Over the 4th of July weekend, I'm having the carpets and the tile floors done in the USDA. Now I know that that contract is up here soon, but I want to uphold our end of it. I don't just want to not have that done and then, because I want to follow through with what we're supposed to be doing, just so nothing comes up with that. We just talked about the Heinrichs and drainage on Thursday, and they said we're gonna get started on Monday, and they're here Monday. I ran into John Martin, of all all places, down in Louisville, Kentucky at a wedding reception that we both just happened to be at the same wedding reception. And we talked a while, and that was a week ago, and he said he was shooting for a couple weeks, getting going on the morgue work. And we talked briefly about the animal control project, and he said he didn't really know on that one yet. He said that would be later in the summer. Everything is so weather dependent, and quite honestly, I mean, I hate to even bring it up at a wedding, you know, but he's right there, we had to talk about it a little bit. You guys may have spoken with him as well and know more information than I do on that. But inspection wise, backflow preventers and the fire alarm system, those usually get done in July. So I'm waiting to be contacted by them. Over here, jail and courthouse, there were 0 HVAC issues since our last meeting. Nothing with the chiller, nothing cooling tower, anything, just a lot of cleaning cottonwood off of the units. Yes, ma'am?
Well, I just noticed we had a big bill with Precision Piping, and it says it's the flow switch for the chiller,
That
$37.57.
was 2 months ago, they just really take a long time to send. it out.
Okay.
That was right when we first had the chiller, I think in the May meeting, I may have brought
Mentioned,
that up.
okay,
Um,
thanks.
Yeah, the flow switch itself was like something ridiculous.
I do remember you talking about that, I just thought,
Yeah. No, it just now got billed out, so that's what
Got
that's
it.
all about. And out at Runnings, currently, all vegetation, including potted trees, are 50% off. I think I bring this up about every year, and then I don't do anything, and then they are all bought up. But I was out there yesterday, and there's some hard maples, and I mean, we could actually grab a few potted trees that are taller than me for under $100 if we wanted to.
I got 2 out there myself.
Yeah.
They're nice.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's something you think maybe I ought to do, or
You have a parking lot where you plant
just a low grant where there's trees that have been lost, just to fill in those spots. I don't,
I think I counted there's like 9 empty spots.
yeah.
I think that sounds like a good idea, and I got a maple and the
So you bought all my
oak
trees is
was-
what you're saying?
Yeah, well, I bought a service berry and a maple, yeah, I did. And they're those bright red ones.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea. I think we should.
Yeah.
I know I'm always bringing this up about the trees and then I never do anything about it, so it's, I mean, I could go out there this afternoon and see what they have and.
Stop on your way back from getting your daughter.
Yes.
She can help you load.
What's that?
She can help you load.
Yeah, right.
Load 'em up.
But that's all I've written down here, as far as, unless you have any questions.
I think you're doing a good job, and I appreciate it, Chris.
Well, thanks.
I do too. I think you're all
That
right.
was a comment, that wasn't a question.
Were you able to have a conversation with Mo from Hendricks?
Yeah. Right after I'd spoke with you, I called and they were having lunch.
Yeah.
And we met back over here about a half an hour after that, and there was 4 of them. And it was good because they weren't aware of a couple things that was in their way. One of them was, there's the tile that goes around the courthouse and jail into these ejector pits, and one of those ejects straight out south into that field, almost all the way to the cornfield. And it's like a 2-inch just steel pipe.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we weren't aware of that at all. Thank you very much. And then we walked over to the east side of the parking lot by the jail as well and discussed some things going on over there. And mainly the fiber optic line hasn't been Julied out yet. Like, that's kind of important, I think. You don't want to hit that one.
Yeah, he was there, Julia was there this morning.
Okay, good.
5.
And I wasn't aware of that the city is gonna go under the road for them. Heinrichs aren't even gonna do that.
Yeah.
I missed that one somewhere, but no, I spoke with them for a good 45 minutes. Told them, you know, hey, anytime that shed's open, you guys need to use the bathroom, whatever. And they're like, that's good, because we already did.
Yeah.
No, there's an issue where I need to talk to Lauren from the city and see if we can get them to bring their VACCON truck. There's those 2 inlets
Yeah.
that are just plug full. And where they're running the tile through, they're gonna put some sort of structure right there, and it's gonna need reattached to that, and there's no point in reattaching something that doesn't work. So probably today I need to get a hold of Lauren and see, hey, I know it's county work, but I think maybe you could do us a solid and, I mean, if he wants to charge us or something, I don't think he will, but, because I know Lauren's really easy to work with, and
Yeah.
he seems very eager to be accommodating. So that's something else on the list today. I don't know if you noticed my splurge item on the claims. I bought a $88 mini fridge for the maintenance shed. As a personal reward item, I like cold V8 out there. There always used to be one out there, and like 2 years ago it burned up. And then there hasn't been one, and I keep it full of water bottles and stuff, so. So down the road, when one of you gets mad, you can say, blowing all that money on mini fridges and
That messes.
luxury items.
Yeah.
There goes the budget.
My budget is really kind of shot after that, so.
You know, you could have bought another tree with that money.
I know, see, it's things like that.
Things we need.
You know. But, yeah, if no one has anything to say, I'm gonna scramble and grab my daughter. And pick my daughter up, and I word that.
Why are you still here?
You haven't said, okay, thank you yet.
Hey, thank you.
I'll be back in like 20 minutes. If
We'll be watching.
the meeting's going on, maybe I'll come back.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Anybody got anything on animal control or work?
Well, this is not about the building, but I'm gonna bring it up because I'm sort of been out of shape about it. I don't know if any of you saw, but we had this fiasco on Facebook, and I am really put out with iCare because apparently we had a situation, and you can help me here a little bit about the dates. Oh, I'm gonna say a week ago. This occurred last weekend, and I guess I spoke to Jill, and we had 15 dogs and 3 cats. They were over the time, they were over the number, and Jill called in the wardens and said, and the word she used with you is, move the dogs, which in her parlance meant get on the phone, start calling shelters, start calling rescues, because if something doesn't happen by next Friday, then we're gonna have to consider euthanization. So anyway, she told me that 2 of the dogs were in really bad shape and she was probably gonna have to take that step anyway. So I guess somehow iCare got called and they took pictures and they were all over Facebook. And you correct me anytime I'm wrong, okay? They said, the county board had dictated that these dogs be put to death. And that got shared 274 times. And there was public outcry and we really got a black eye over it. And then there was another individual who lives in Fort Dodge, who I guess has been one of Iroquois County's finest, and I won't mention the name, but anyway, he ended up calling Paul Ducat at 11 o'clock on Father's Day to ream him out. And I did, and I never broke my own rule, commented, and I said, we don't vote, we don't dictate that. And that we operate under the laws of the Illinois Department of Agriculture. And so anyway, by the time this all broke loose, they were down to like 5 dogs. They found homes for the cats, they were down to 5 dogs. And eventually, I guess all of the dogs, I don't know about the resolution of the 2 dogs were in bad shape. But here's my point, and I don't expect the committee to do anything about this. Jill's doing a fine job as a director, I'd have no problem with her either. But iCare does this to us about several times a year, and it was false, and I just you know, like Jill told me, we've euthanized over the last 4 years, maybe 10 dogs. So they're doing a fine job of getting them placed out in shelters and rescues. And some of those dogs weren't in very good shape. So anyway, I don't know if any of you saw that, got any backlash or heard about it. But I guess I'm gonna go and talk to Jill. I'm gonna suggest that, well, and iCare cherry-picked 2 of the dogs because they are small dogs and they can't rehome bigger dogs or certain breeds of dogs easily. It's a problem for them as well, so then they criticize us for doing what we have to do, you know, and give out false information. But I'm gonna go, you know, and if anybody thinks this is a bad idea and suggest to Jill, we don't allow them to take pictures when they come anymore. No more pictures. You come, you get the dog, you don't see the rest of the dogs, we're not talking to you anymore. Because I've
Get
had
a tour of the place.
no, you don't get to tour the place, you don't get to know the inner workings or what's going on here. You take the 2 dogs you want, put your phones away, no pictures, so I just am really put out with them.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're our friends, did you see?
I was aware of it all, yeah, and I called Jill too to get to the bottom of it, to see.
It was a mess.
It was a mess, and once that gets started, there are people that just enjoy stirring up trauma and trouble. And I did see them talking about Mr. Ducat, and it was all wrong.
It ended with Paul Ducat contacting an officer who was gonna take the information to Jim Devine, to this one person who threatened him. And they weren't very kind to me either, but anyway, you know,
I think there's a law.
there's
of
several.
Taking pictures.
Oh, I don't
You
know.
I know it is for dairy cattle, wasn't there a thing that the animal?
Well, we don't have to allow pictures
Right.
anywhere.
No, there is a law about threatening elected officials.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
You know, that's where and so I don't know what became of that, I haven't talked to Paul again, but I also spoke to him. But it was just quite the fiasco.
It was awful.
Did I leave anything out?
I guess the solution would be if iCare ever does it again, you just go on their Facebook page where they have posted it and you put iCare is welcome, or iCare is welcome to come and pick them all up and rehome them. We would be glad to have that.
Well, they won't, they cherry picked
I
2.
know, but you put it out on their website that they can do that, then it's on them.
And I put on my post, I said, we are not a rescue, we are not a shelter. We operate under the laws of the Illinois Department of Agriculture.
And anybody that's calling saying that they shouldn't be put down,
Come and get one.
we welcome you to come and get one.
And Jill's very laid back about it, doesn't get hurt. I got way more upset than she did.
When I talked to her, she said, yeah, it happens once in a while, so she's not unaccustomed to it. She's seen it before, and she knows where it comes from.
When we get full and she lets the wards know we've got to move them, then they, you know, they get the job done, they get it
Right.
moved, but then it turns out to be
Well,
something else.
I guess why do they wait for her to say move them? Why aren't they working on it before that? Or do they have to wait for her?
I think they do, but we get to the point where we get an influx of dogs,
Right.
and then we just can't have, we don't have room for all of them.
Right.
And I think that's where we were at this point.
And I think they wait for a time like that because it makes for better drama. They can stir the pot better.
What do they want us to do?
I know.
They just try
They
to make
don't
you
wanna
look
take
bad.
the dogs, and then they criticize us for what we do, or have to do.
If I recall, some of the ones involved in that wanted to take over animal control.
You recall correctly.
So,
So they criticize us.
Right.
yes,
There's a bit of a, they'll help us, but there's a bit of a, there, you know.
so,
Do we need to let Bill know that we want to change the policy about pictures and things, or?
Well, I'm gonna go
And
talk
I
to
don't
them.
know that I don't know that it was iCare that was taking the pictures. I know when we get dogs, the wardens will take pictures of the dogs and post them to see if anybody's missing them.
So maybe
So it
they,
may have been that they just shared pictures that were already
that could be
posted.
too.
Okay.
Cause we do, as soon as we get a dog, pictures are taken and it's shared to try to.
And I
find
know
the
they have a
owners.
Facebook page, but maybe if they can make those, I don't know how they do that, unshareable, so they can't pirate them and.
Mhm. And then if you do that, then you've got regular people like us that, you know, we try to help find the dogs and we're sharing that post too.
But with 274 shares, and that was the last time I looked, you know, if you've got 800 friends and that's common, look at what they did. Too bad we can't get the word out about the pork chop dinner or the
Yeah.
politicians coming to tell you what's going on in Springfield like that. So anyway, just to make you aware.
Anybody got anything else on the morgue or the dog or animal control?
I think it's, we should get that fence built ASAP. So the dogs have a place to run instead of inside the building.
Well, I mean, they walk them, but it's still, yeah, it would be easier on them to be able to do that.
I help now?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about the morgue, so it
I
can't be.
thought you were talking about something that had nothing to do with this committee.
Well, it was Morgan Animal Control, so, anyway.
I believe you already heard from Chris this morning about what the schedules are, so I won't go into that, but one thing I would like you to look at is colors for the addition. Mr. Martin has given us this to choose from.
He's not gonna match what's there.
How can you do that?
Well, I don't know, you could get close as you could.
Well, that's why he gave us this. I thought we'd go with this color.
The bright red.
Yeah, look nice.
Yeah, it's a nice color.
For the entire building?
Just for the addition.
Yeah, the little piece of paper up there is what I thought should go with for the colors, and I don't know that there's a whole lot to choose from. I wanted the committee to see
That's the
that.
colors that are on it now.
Wanted the committee to see it and make sure everybody's okay with that.
What are the colors,
They're not red.
obviously? So it's kind of a tan color
With brown trim.
with brown trim.
Yeah, I was discussing it with the sheriff at a meeting, and I texted Chris, because neither one of us, we were like, it's gray, it's it. Neither one of us could remember the color, so Chris took a picture and sent it.
Okay.
I could see the benefit of maybe having a different color.
I think it should match. I think he should just match the colors as closely as he could. It's gonna be attached, so.
Yeah.
The light tan that's on that sheet there is just a little bit darker than the siding that's on there now. The brown color is almost an exact match.
I said
I
match.
don't know if the light tan will lighten over time because I don't think the sun shines on that part of it that much, but out of the colors that are available there, that's what I think we can do, but I just want everybody to see what's what.
I'm kind of not liking the red. That's gonna be such
No,
a
he's got,
drastic change.
he's got light stone
Okay, you
signs
messing
around
with
him.
me?
Yes, he's messing with you.
I am so gullible this morning. I'm gonna take you out, y'all.
That would be great.
Yeah, let's do it.
You wouldn't have
I'm
any
gonna have
trouble
to-
knowing where the building was if we made it bright red, would you?
Even though
Everybody go to the red building if you want to go to more.
Drop your
you got me.
person off at the red building.
Usually there's not a whole lot of cost difference, a lot of, like a wainscoting. So if we went with like the brown trim but have the wainscoting on the front, so it would distinguish that a little bit, but it would still match.
You can match the brown trim up pretty good.
Yeah, the darker colors are pretty easy to match, it's the lighter colors.
If there's a brown trim piece in between them though, makes it less noticeable.
Anyway, that's all I got. Very
Well, that's
frustrated that we don't have better news, but it is what it is.
Right. County park management issues.
Motion to put it out for bid.
Did you bring
Okay. You're sitting here with the guy that's not a partner.
I thought they read okay.
Yeah, I emailed them and then I just changed the due date for the bids to be August 2nd, which is the Friday before management. And bids to be open Monday, August 5th. If I change, I think that was one thing to change in the notices. Everything else I think was okay. Those were those changes. And then for, was it soil testing? Also,
Well, on the bid packet, we now have some data on what the yields were. So will that be included in the bid packet for everybody? Because they were supposed to be giving that to us, and I know they did at least once or twice.
I probably got it in here somewhere. I don't,
Yes.
yeah,
No, the whole point of having them
do that.
tell us what the yield was we were getting complaints that people say, well, we don't know how much it yields. If it yields, 180 bushel an acre versus 250 bushel an acre, it's gonna determine how much they wanna bid.
That's a point.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when we put those yields out there, any identifying stuff on the yields that she provided us, I think should be redacted. There should be no identifying stuff on the.
And if, as we go forward, we need to keep all of it and then just do a running average. So it wouldn't matter who was that was farming it, this is the average over the last 10 years.
Could we do that in the financial office, or Amanda do that on a spreadsheet where we just enter and then eventually we wouldn't be putting personal information out there, we'd just be putting a spreadsheet out there.
I know Sagabrook used to give us some, so that'd be 2 years worth that we might have from way back then. So we weren't getting any, and then I think we brought it up after the last bid that we needed that, so.
So could we ask Amanda to formally ask her to do that, to start putting that on a spreadsheet so it's more generic instead of specific? Please and thank you.
I don't know, I don't remember if they gave us an overall average or if they went field by field.
It was field by field.
It was, okay. So I don't know, I mean, overall average is what they need, I guess, because they're not gonna just pick one field to bid on, they're bidding on all of them, so.
Right. Overall, it'll be fine.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Anybody got anything else on that?
Are we gonna vote on whether to put it out?
Yes, but we're in discussion phase.
Oh, I thought we were done, sorry.
I just worry about the recent downturn of prices, how it may affect the bottom.
I already had one person that was interested that said with the prices the way they are, they're not sure what they wanna do.
Yeah.
So,
It needs to be seen.
all right, there's no more discussion, we got motion and a second to put it out for bid.
Bowers,
Yes.
Fence,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Sumel,
Yes.
Barons.
Yes. Okay, now we're on to the fertilizer, you were starting?
Soil testing.
Well, that's-
Since fertilizer, we've done in.
Yeah.
We usually get, well, this we got in January. Yeah, they were due in January. I don't think we're doing fertilizer yet, just soil testing. So soil testing, same thing. We're doing it a couple months earlier, it looks like, than we have, but we
Well-
wanted to coincide with the.
We'll get it, we will have it put out for bid, but they won't be able to collect it probably till after the crop is off, so.
So do you want the dates to be the same as the lease, or what am I looking at to open bids?
That's what we discussed before.
Yeah, we can,
Okay, so same
and
as,
then they just go collect the samples when appropriate.
and then I do have a listing, I think I have 6 vendors to send, that I send letters to.
Could you pass that around? So.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah, if you guys know of anybody else, because names change and
didn't we only get one bid last year? 2 bids from the same vendor, so what I think we got.
I don't remember. That was 3 years ago.
That fast? They do, so that's.
You've got,
Are they on that fast?
This is just for soil testing.
No, they're not.
Close.
Right.
Nutrient.
Are they on?
No. Which nutrient?
I would say Shell.
Yeah.
That's about the biggest one.
And, what'd you, FS Milford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it in.
so I mean, you got,
State.
I mean, we could send it to Nutrient and Onarga and FS and Gilman too. I would think they'd be pretty much the same, but,
We'd hope that.
Yeah, that's,
and I don't know how much they work together. I mean, maybe they'll just say, you guys do it.
they're all tied together. I mean, I've had, FS ordered that through FS in Melford, and then Beaverville came and did the job.
They subbed it out on you.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Like, as long as it gets done for the price they say.
Yeah.
I guess if there's no further discussion, is there a motion to put the fertilizer out, or the soil testing out for bid?
Also, make that motion.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Zumwalt,
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes. Any other county farm management issues? Just as a heads up, the village, we got P&P, Village of Watsika, City of Watsika, whatever. They are looking at getting permission to do a test well. Well, originally it was over here, now it's over on the, by the sea, the grass area. So have you had a chance to talk to?
Mr. Devine was on vacation last week.
I thought we decided we didn't want to get involved in that.
Well,
We didn't like the location.
I don't know what we're able to do, and I brought that up because of how the will is raised, plus even the grass area over there is wet most of the time. So, I don't.
Because they wanted a big building to go with that.
Well, and he said he's got like 4 places that they wanted to do test wells, so we don't know. It was brought up at P&P, and it's being looked into. We'll move on to discussion and action on FSA lease. Have heard back from them.
I have the lease here. With what we went back to them at, a 25% increase, so that puts us at $17.55 per square foot.
And they agreed to.
Yep, I have the lease right
they met our demands without,
But that's 10 years.
Oh, just 5 years.
They really didn't have anything that they wanted us to do at this point, so.
I moved to accept the lease of, name the proper entity at $17.55 per square foot. And then I put the total amount in there too, which is for 5 years, what's the total dollar amount?
So annual rent would be 86,539.05. Per month is 7,211.59.
I'll second
That has never been that easy.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Better get a sign.
Yeah.
You know, they asked Joe, he said, and so they approved it.
Okay.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Bowers,
Yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Sumo,
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes. Okay, anybody got questions or comments on the claims? Seeing none, our motion?
Motion is second to the second claim.
I'll
Pay
say,
the claim.
Bowers,
yes.
Benz,
Yes.
Crowe,
Yes.
Sumo,
Yes.
Sure, Aaron's.
Yes.
Only John for the book.
You want me to wake up?
Apparently. Very old business. Any new business? Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right.
So